Welcome to another edition of Kevin's Commentary. We thank you for being with us. Great guest today. This is a guy who has brought Wyoming wrestling to a new level, but to a consistent level. And we're talking about Coach Mark Branch. And I know, Mark, this has been an excellent year for your team. I like the way you schedule, and I want you to talk a little bit about you schedule with a very definite plan in mind. Explain that to us.
Yeah, you know, I want to make sure that throughout the season, not only in dual competition that we see some of the best teams, but trying to get to some of the best tournaments that we can get to and challenge our team. You want to get to the NCAA tournament and not have shell shock. That's kind of my overall thinking is the NCAA tournament's unlike anything else. Just the atmosphere, the 17 to 20,000 fans there, 8 mats laid out, and then the best competition, and you really can't mimic that. So you try to make sure that you at least put your kids in some really tough situations, and then they go there feeling like I've already wrestled some of the best kids in the country. I've wrestled in some of the toughest tournaments in the country, and hopefully it doesn't make it such a shock, so that they can go there and perform at their best. You know, because I've seen it eat kids up who aren't prepared. You see kids that are maybe a little bit guarded from that. They have great seasons, but then they get there and it's just a little too overwhelming, and I don't want that to be the case for our guys.
And at the same time, you still have to have an eye on the conference. You're in a very good wrestling conference. Talk a little bit about the Western Conference. It's been a good challenge for the Cowboys.
It has. It's gotten better, you know, and I think I think we've been a big part of this conference getting better in the fact that the University of Wyoming making the investment and putting the support into wrestling and seeing us have success. I think a lot of other schools took notice and said, you know, let's do the same thing. Let's make an investment in our programs. There's been a lot of coaching changes in the last several years, and there's been a bigger investment in these programs, and now they're competing at a higher level, which is good for everybody. I mean, that's what we want. So it's nice, and I'm not taking credit of that from my standpoint. The University of Wyoming gets credit for that, for them deciding that they wanted their wrestling program to be at a different level. And now, like I said, I think that we were kind of the leaders in that, and there's a lot of schools now that are seeing us as maybe a model wrestling program and trying to copy some of the things that we've done. So it's made us all more competitive. It's made our season more challenging. It's made our conference more challenging, and that's good for us because those, you know, that's another big factor when you talk about the NCAA championships. If you're not challenged and pushed in your conference, that's not really going to help you get ready for the nationals.
You mentioned the investment, and we're in a beautiful facility now. I know this has been a long time coming, and it was a big project for you. Got to be very pleased with your new facility. Talk a little bit about what it means to the program, to the recruiting, and the rest of it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's only so much you can do as a coach, and then you start thinking about how else can we get better. We can get better with recruiting, getting the top level kids, but that's a challenge in Wyoming. You know, they have to have an open mind for the most part to go, what's Wyoming about? You know, there are a lot of great things about this school and about this town, but if they never open their eyes to see it, you can't show it to them. You know, so these are the things that will help us get that next level kid into our program and looking at what we have to offer. You know, and this is just it's a game changer because not just from the recruiting standpoint, but the way that our team is going to be able to build team chemistry, the way that they're going to be able to train. You know, we have a lot of advantages with this facility, and I've seen it over the last month. We've been on an extremely long holiday break, and our guys have been living in this facility. And man, I tell you what, our attitudes, I can't think of a team that the attitudes have been better. And I think it has a lot to do with the use of this facility and these guys being able to have a place that's their home, that they can hang out and bond and become a closer team. And so there's a lot of things that, like I said, that you start looking at where else can this team get better, and it could be in team chemistry, it could be in the way that we train. And those are the things that are going to help us, you know, in the future.
You know, one of the great things about you, I think, is that you and your family came to Wyoming and you did have your eyes open, and you guys have really enjoyed your time here. You've really gotten into Wyoming.
Absolutely. Fits well. You know, I felt that from the very beginning. I think from the moment that I came here on my interview, I thought, man, this is, I felt comfortable, and I thought this is somewhere I could be for a while. I don't know that, I think a lot of coaches, and not just wrestling, all sports, they look at programs as stepping stones, like, man, that's a great opportunity, but it's somewhere maybe I want to be for a year or two and then move on to the next place. And I've never felt that way. I felt like this is a place we could build a special program and be competitive. And it's turned out that way. We're very happy here and love being a part of this program and this family.
One last question. Is your team, as the season's winding towards the NCAA, are you getting to where you want to be as a team?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we definitely have a strong team. We don't have a deep team. We have probably, our numbers are lighter than they've been in several years. And so depth is always a little bit of a concern, but we have a really talented team. But we have a team that needs to believe in itself and believe in its potential. And that's been probably the bulk of our work as a coaching staff, is to get these guys to believe in how good they can be. And I think it's coming along. I think they've stepped out and competed well. We started off the season with two of the best teams in the country and took it on the chin a little bit. But ever since then, I think it's been building back that confidence and believing in who we are. And just, our schedule has challenged us, and we've answered those challenges. And now here we are kind of in the home stretch of the season, and we got some of our toughest matches ahead of us. And it's time for our guys to believe in themselves and start thinking about doing some special things, because we need to wrestle better. We've wrestled well up to this point, but I have high expectations, and I just know what we're capable of, and we have to come out and perform better.
Well, we're looking forward to the rest of the season. You've done a great job here, and I know you want to do even better, and we all wish you the very best.
Okay, thanks, Kevin.
Okay, Mark Branch, our guest today. Thanks for being with us. Until next time.